is the Dumball Rally, the world's ultimate intercontinental driving adventure. Over 100 madcap motorists take cars that have seen better days.
If you're very lucky, you get one that's got some tread on the tyres.
And drive them as far as they can in just 1 week.
We were tempted to drive it home, but we couldn't afford the fuel. It's done at least a tank a day.
All to raise awareness and funds for the Teenage Cancer Trust.
It's all for a fantastic cause.
Each team takes an old banger of their choice, pimps it up and then drives it to a far-flung place.
I declare Odessa open to Dumball.
Now in its 10th year, the Dumball Banger Rally has covered over 11,500 miles. They've conquered Europe.
We're going to Budapest today.
Russia.
Bloody cows.
And India.
So this is like driving in Sicily, Istanbul and Kosovo all together.
Bringing chaos and carnage wherever they go. And now, we're going to take a look back at some of the daftest moments from the rally's 10-year history. Welcome to the Dumball Rally, dumbest of the dumb. This is a rally like no other. It isn't a race, it's an endurance test where some of the worst motors are pushed to their very limits, driving thousands of miles all around the world. Along the way, there's a serious amount of goofing around, tomfoolery and stupidity to be had.
I'm afraid it appears we've had a crash.
And wherever the convoy stops, the party starts. So in this episode, we're looking back at some of the best bits from the Dumball archives.
Angle grinder on the right and almost the roof taking off.
First up, let's have a look at some of the silly modifications. In the past, the Dumballers have been set a budget of £500 to buy a banger that they think will carry them to the finish line. They've got free rein to buy whatever car they like. There's just one rule. They must decorate their cars to look as balmy as possible. Back in 2012, the Ghostbusters team truly excelled themselves. Stone and crows. They built a fully working replica of the Ghostbusters Cadillac.
We're driving a Volvo Estate.
How much did we spend?
£401.
I mean, obviously it's not an American car, it's a Volvo, but, you know, Volvo's probably more reliable than a '59 Cadillac. Brilliant. Astonishing bit of work. Look at the size of these scrolling screens. It's got everything. But I had spotted a weakness. It's quite high. I am 6'3", and I come up to about there. So hopefully we won't be going through any low car parks or the Eurotunnel. I've just realised the Eurotunnel's got a height restriction. I don't know if they've thought about that. But quite a lot of the teams find that they're inspired to make modifications and changes to their cars as they go along.
Angle grinder on the right and almost the roof taking off.
When the 2012 rally pitched up in Bulgaria, the Blue Squadron decided to remove something rather than add to their car.
The whole cap. It's okay? And the neck through. Yep.
We've decided that it's a little bit too warm in the Men in Black car, so we're getting a small angle grinder. And we're just going to cut a small sunroof in the car.
1, 2, 3.
In charge of the project, the event's oldest participant, Tony.
This is the blueprint of a fairly well worked out scheme for taking the roof off.
With the plan made clear, the friendly Bulgarians got to work.
Let's do it.
The Men in Black Audi now had a sunroof, which was impossible to close. Let's hope there wasn't any rain forecast. A successful stop for everybody then. But team leader Tony soon started to wish they hadn't bothered.
What could possibly go wrong? with cutting your roof off a car.
But Team Men in Black weren't the first team to ever regret doing some modifications to their car. As the Dumball Rally crossed India, the Jungle Book team decided to decorate their car with real foliage and fruit. Your car seems to be looking better and better as time goes on, which is unusual on the Dumball.
Our theory is add things as we go.
The pineapples are real, is that right?
Pineapples are 100% real.
But they had some help restoring their car back to stock when they passed through a jungle.
We did have a pineapple as a mascot on the front. That got totally destroyed. This one's got a chunk out of it on there. So we've got Ellie as our new mascot.
But it's not just the cars that have to be decorated on the Dumball Rally. Oh no. It's also mandatory for the participants to look as ridiculous as they possibly can. Sometimes, sadly, that also applies to the presenter. Not this is actually my jumper. Back in 2012, as the rally entered Bulgaria, I was hitching a ride with the Orange Convoy, who were led by a team of cross-dressers. Brenda, what are you going to do to me, with me?
Well, now it's time to woman up.
OK, I'm going to have to put the microphone down.
Shorts off, please.
Excuse me. Shorts off.
Shorts off.
Look at the arse on there.
Cold morning, is it in your van?
Yeah. OK. I feel ashamed of myself. This is awful.
It's just not right.
I feel so soiled.
Right, let's complete the look.
OK.
Jennifer.
Well, the transformation is complete. Let's not waste any time. Let's hit the highway.
Who's a bad girl now? Who's a bad girl?
I think it makes it more difficult the fact that we're on a mountain road doing mascot. Way back in 2007, as the rally entered Bratislava, Team Stealth decided that rather than dressing up, they dressed down.
We have a challenge today where we've got to drive in nothing but our underwear, which is quite challenging, especially when you've got to sit with these two sites in here as well. Got a bit of...
It was a sight that shocked the other users of the petrol station.
It's quite a liberating experience for
I think we turned to nature. Yeah. So excited you're coming apart.
Number two.
It never ceases to amaze me what these Dumballers will do just to win some points.
I've just had to go into a petrol station and buy fuel in those underpumps in front of 60 other people.
The Dumballers are split into 6 competing squadrons, and where there's competition, you can bet there's a healthy amount of inter-squad sabotage taking place. Near Prague, JC from Team Embassy decided to pull a prank on the female members of their squadron.
They take a bit of lighting, though.
With the help of some pyrotechnics. I wouldn't recommend playing with explosives in public in a former communist country, but the Dumballers take advice from no one.
That worked true.
I can't hear anything. I think my left ovary just fell out.
If you're going to pull a prank on somebody, you have to be prepared for the inevitable fallout.
Yeah, we just pulled into Romania. We just pulled over at the border to get some car tax.
and the Daisy Dukes had very foolishly left their car unlocked, and so basically sprayed all their accidents in shaving foam.
But they weren't expecting Georgia from Team Daisy Duke to retaliate.
She came storming over to the garage and she was going mental. And then she got on the roof and started jumping up and down. It was a pretty surreal moment. I think she wanted to kill us.
Come on, you open the door!
She's not too happy.
She got tired eventually, and she left.
Both of you
The war has begun.
The evidence is here, actually.
Yeah.
The roof's a couple of inches lower.
Yeah, bless her.
Coming up, coppers.
Good day. Yeah, good day.
Crying.
I know it's going to hurt, mate. I know. Look, we'll give you a moment on your own.
And crushing.
Well, it's done us proud, and yeah, now leave it to scrap it.
Welcome back to the Dumball Rally, dumbest of the dumb. Noisy, fancy-dressed lunatics tend to attract a fair amount of attention wherever they go. But put them on the road in a rolling carnival of stupidity, and sometimes they attract a little bit of unwanted attention, like police-based attention.
In 2012, I was hitching a ride with the Rollin' Roses, who'd done an amazing job transforming a Fiat Multipla into a futuristic police car.
I'm rolling with the Rolling Roses.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And luckily, because they've got a people carrier, they've got an extra seat for me.
People carrier? It is not a people carrier.
Oh, sorry.
It's a sports saloon that happens to contain 6 seats because it's so well designed.
Just like the other teams on the rally, the Rollin' Roses were understandably immensely proud of their vehicle.
You can fully recline should you wish.
Go on then.
Yeah, it's all yours, mate.
Okay.
That's amazing.
Have a little.
But it wasn't long before their imitation police car got them into trouble with the actual police. As they crossed the border, they discovered that the Moldovan police also used Fiat Multiplas as their squad cars, so they had to try and devise a desperate disguise.
I was close.
I didn't think we were going to get through.
Didn't look like he was going to.
What are the chances of the Moldovan police having a police car that looks exactly like this?
Right, that ain't coming off. And it still looks exactly like a police car.
On the Eastern Europe rally, the coppers were actually trying to help the Dumballers, arranging for a police escort to cross the border into the Ukraine. But there was one squadron holding up the entire convoy.
So who are we waiting for? We're just waiting for the infamous Red Squadron, who, despite every bit of warning on every single page in the manual not to go into Transnistria en route to this particular border crossing, visited Transnistria.
What is Transnistria?
Transnistria is bandit country.
Is it really?
Yep. There's no laws, there's no government, and it's just a little landlocked pocket in between lots of old Russian states.
The cops were starting to lose their patience, despite the ralliers doing their best to keep them on their side.
How you doing? More. Yeah? Good. Excellent. So it's going to be a good day?
Good day.
Yeah, good day.
Has anybody been bound and gagged? You have?
Thankfully, just when the police looked like they were losing all their patience...
Here we are, look. The police bandits in the Multipla.
The Red Squadron turned up.
These two men are the culprits.
Yeah, we missed the turn we needed, and then we ended up in the military area where we realised quite quickly we needed to turn around when they asked whether we had any machine guns or knives on board.
A lot of hand signals, a lot of using of the word guns surrounded by other words.
Are you a bit guilty? There's people have been setting up camp here.
Yeah.
You know, becoming cannibals almost. It's been...
I'd like to say yes, but to be honest, not really. You know, that's Dumball, that's the kind of way it goes.
A complete lack of remorse, but who cares? The Dumballers were all back together and they were just a few kilometres from their final destination, Odessa. To these cars, it's literally the end of the road.
Dumballers, continue on straight ahead to Odessa, your final destination.
With the police convoy leading them into Odessa, the Dumballers were left feeling like royalty.
Is that your siren? The police. The real police.
On behalf of the Teenage Cancer Trust and Dumball 2012, I declare Odessa open to Dumball.
Unbelievably, one of the issues doing a rally with cars on their last legs is that not all of them reach the finish line. Over the past years, many a badly decorated car has been cruelly ditched by the roadside. Sad face.
Halfway through the Indian Rally, Team Full English Breakfast's car overheated on a perilous mountain pass with 27 tight hairpin bends.
The expansion tank on the radiator is actually boiling like a kettle. I think the radiator is extremely hot. It's a case of just being a bit patient.
Their breakdown was causing chaos with the traffic.
Have you guys got any water on board? Oh, great, great. Water and oil, the lifeblood of a vehicle. We've given it 15-20 minutes and the expansion tank on the radiator's stopped bubbling, it's cooled down. We've added some fresh drinking water and it seems to be much more settled. We've thrown some in the radiator, brakes don't feel too hot, so now we're just gonna creep it up nice and slow. Yeah, and you might want to, put the bonnet down.
But it wasn't long before they encountered another problem. Just one hairpin bend further up the mountain, they ground to a halt again.
That's it. You guys have got an extremely unusual problem with your car. The brakes seem to be going on their own without you pressing the pedal.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah, so we were going along fine in second gear, and then when we stopped, changed to first, and then tried to pull off.
But it was when the clutch was depressed that's when it came to a full stop.
And it just locked.
It just locked, yeah.
It's deciding whether to not to abandon ship.
Right, guys, we're going to disperse and join you lot.
If it's going to give way anywhere, it's going to give way on a road like this.
They had to ditch the car and rely on the other members of their squadron to get them to their overnight stop.
Right, come on, get you guys in the car.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate this.
Car, roll.
But some goodbyes are sadder than others. In 2012, as the teams were racing to catch a ferry from Italy to Slovenia, the hairy dog car experienced a major problem. The modified BMW had broken its fan belt.
Here we are, guys.
Thankfully, they managed to flag down the red convoy.
You done? What's the problem? Yeah, we're just coming down this ramp and it just snapped and just went.
Have you sent everyone a song?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Because we're like, you guys go. We knew that you were behind us and you've got space.
We knew we had a decision. We were going to sack you off, but we thought, as you're leading it, we might pick you up.
The place, to be honest, mate.
We thought
with you at the helm.
No, that's true.
Although a fan belt is easily replaced, Italian shops don't really like opening on a Sunday. So if they wanted to catch the ferry, ditching the car seemed like the only option. But these drivers don't give up that easily.
Right. You've got tights.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with a pair of tights?
Put the fan belt.
Use them as a fan belt.
Yes.
Really, how long would that
we
work?
Never heard
would
of
it be dangerous?
It doesn't matter, we need to get to the ferry.
It's an age-old trick of the trade. No fan belt? Well, use a pair of tights.
It worked though, it worked.
Why did I bring tights on a holiday which would be 27 degrees or more the whole way? Obviously, it was fated.
This moment. I don't think it's got a chance.
With just 4 hours before the ferry set sail to Albania, the Reds looked impatient.
What time do you think we actually need to go? What's the kind of absolute?
Push down there.
It was now or never.
There we go.
Get rid of finger?
Yeah, finger out.
And just at that moment, I arrived to witness the last throw of the dice.
Listen, the tights are our only hope.
Let's have a look.
I've always said
We've got nothing to lose. It's a flat reverse reef knot.
Yeah, no, it looks good, man. It looks good. It's just...
Well, it's spinning.
You ready?
I think I'm ready.
No, nothing. It's just spinning.
Yeah. It's not in the groove, you see, because this is a V-belt. It sits in the groove. That's just... It's not quite in the groove.
I would say we maybe dump it. I know it's going to hurt me. I know. Look, we'll give you a moment on your own.
Yeah. We've just got to go and get the ferry. It's just happened on the wrong day, unfortunately, because everything's closed. It's a £5 part. Yeah. We can't get it. We've got to go. Man's best friend. Let's go! Right, we're leaving it.
So that's it for this episode of Dumbest of the Dumb. I've been Johnny Smith. If I was anyone else, I'd be lying.
Next time, smooching, shortcuts.
At what point did you think this was the best way to leave the car park?
And squatters.
Where do you want us to take you to? Okay.